So I'm Michael Harris,
And I'm James Scott.
and welcome to the Fast Freedom Formula Facebook group extravaganza, for lack of a better term. Yes, we'll call it something.
Party. Yeah.
Party. We're going to party hardy, Marty. And James, I'd like you to just tell them briefly about who you are.
Okay. Well, my name is James Scott. I am a hypnotist and NLP trainer. I'm a 20-year Navy vet, and I've been doing this crazy stuff for about 30 years. And my entire goal in life is to make people feel better and live better and be better than when they walk away from me than when they first approach me or get to know me. So that's my goal.
Outstanding. And I'm Michael Harris. I have been a NLP guy, a coach, and a hypnotist for years. And just like James, I mean, my commitment to people is like, I really hate to watch people like struggle when they don't have to. And one of the things I want to let you guys know is we have some skills that we're going to share with you. Hey, for free. It's Facebook. And we're going to show you how to do some stuff that will really, really make your life better. So I thought today, while we're goofing around, James, let's talk about mental states, because everyone has mental state, and I've known you for a while. You're definitely mental.
Yes, and I do live in a state, but yeah. when Michael's talking about states, we're not talking about, Florida, Maryland, where I live, Texas, where Michael lives. We're talking about the mind, body, physical, emotional states that you go into that you can't escape being in them, because if you're not in a state, well, you're dead. And that in and of itself may be a state, right?
Cool. So let me ask you a question, James, because we were talking about this. So I'm cheating. You even know the answer. Okay. When you get ready to prepare for a meeting or a presentation or some type of an event, or even doing sports, what type of preparation do you do?
Well, that's a loaded question, but I'll give you a loaded answer, like a loaded baked potato, right? I'm really big on, rather, I should say, getting myself into what I feel is the proper state for that. And so there are a couple of different things I do. The first one I'll mention, but only as a teaser, because I think I wanted us to do a video on this, or I want to do a video on how I do this. But I use something called the Circle of Excellence, right? Process, which we will talk about at another time. A little teaser. Those of you who know NLP may know the Circle of Excellence. I have a little bit of a modification to it that is very powerful for me. So I'll do that, okay, to kind of anchor in a whole bunch of pull up and trigger, I should say, and anchor in a whole bunch of resources. But the other thing that's really important to me is music. I love what I call my state songs. Okay, I have specific states that I've created that I want to trigger for these different things. I have one for if I want to be a dynamic speaker. I have one if I want to be playful. I have one if I want to be courageous, if I'm doing something that normally would need courage, right? Maybe skydiving or something like that, which I've not done yet, but it's on my bucket list. But these songs, I have these songs that I play. So songs are a big thing for me. How about you?
Same thing. And you and I were talking about this earlier. Both of us have this deep affection for Thunderstruck.
I love
that song. And we were talking about, they used to have a thing on YouTube, and I think it was Navy pilots that were taking off these ships, and they'd come off and they'd go, do a turn and all this other stuff. Man, what a rush.
Yeah, well, that's I can tell you something. I'm about to make you jealous. Are you ready? Okay. That's called being catapulted off of or shot off of a carrier, aircraft carrier, because it's they're actually, even though the jets get up to full throttle, they are actually attached to a pulley type of thing
Mhm.
that launches them like a slingshot via a high-powered steam catapult off of that ship, right?
Oh,
I've done that.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Most
I'm
people
sorry,
say that,
folks. We have to cancel the show because
but
see these gills. Look at these gills right here. Right
yeah,
here. Yeah.
most
Yeah.
most people say that when they and it's the biggest rush on the planet. It's crazy because now, mind you, I was not shot off on a jet. I wish I had been,
Mhm.
but I was shot off on it's an airplane called a C2A Greyhound. It's called a COD. It stands for Carrier Onboard
Mhm.
Delivery, just a plane. But I will tell you, I've been shut off and I've been trapped. Trapped is where you coming in and they have to stop you, right? And just like when you take off, you have to have your engines full out in case you have to take off again, right?
Uh-huh.
And they trap you. And I will tell you, being shut off is a lot more fun than being stopped because or being trapped, because when you're shut off, it's cool. You know, you do that there's that one moment of where the plane will dip for just a moment
Mhm.
once it clicks, and you're like, are we going in the ocean? Are we all going to drown? Right. But then it catches and it take off. But when you get trapped, suddenly you stop, the entire plane stops, your body stops, but your internal organs are usually left off the memo list. So
Yeah, about
it's
how fast are you going when they stop you?
real extremely fast. I don't know air speeds, but you're going extremely fast. I know I mean, you're not coming, like the jets don't come in at full throttle, but when they hit the deck, they punch it because in case they have to take off again.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're coming in at a lower speed, but as soon as that jet hits the deck, they push it. That they and the plane that I was in did the same thing, because I think they have 3 to 5 cables that they can trap you on. But if you miss the first three, they tell you, to just
Go.
take off. But man, it's a rush,
How
and
fun.
that's a state, and it's interesting that you
Mhm.
mentioned that, because I want to start putting that feeling back into it,
Okay.
anchor that to a state.
Okay. One of the things, and I'll tell a quick story. I used to fight full contact.
Hmm.
And if you look at my nose, you'll discover that I used to fight full contact. And I always forgot to keep my left up. It took a while. I learned, but it's okay. And one of the emotional states that I use for like public speaking, and anytime that I have to do like a class or something like that, all I have to do is imagine just before I would fight a match, taping my hands, and automatically like, dude, go down and I'm taping, and obviously I tape my left hand first, make sure that that's it. And then you tape the right hand, and then the mouthpiece goes in. And if anyone is foolish enough to get in the ring, away we go. But at that whole feeling of, okay, let's party. And
Yeah.
and that for me, that's the place that I want to be before we're doing a video, before we're teaching a class. Oh, by the way, we're going to be teaching a few classes. Or any time that let's say let's say that you're going to go to a networking thing.
Hmm.
Just, you're going to go meet people, and I know people out there that I think that they would rather have their entire body tweezed rather than go to a networking
Slowly,
thing.
slowly
Slowly, yes,
tweezed.
yeah, slowly. And but thinking about these high octane adrenaline states where you are like, you are ready to perform, you are ready to go. This is a skill that is valuable to learn. Would you like to learn it?
Okay, and one thing I just want to just a PS, a post note on the end of this, I'd like, or postscript, I'd like to say very quickly. There are, just so you know, there are 3 songs that I like, and also I talked to Michael about this. We might put up some playlists, some Spotify playlists or
Oh,
something of
cool.
our favorite songs. I think that'd be a cool thing to do.
Mhm.
But there are 3 songs, and these may not be your style of music, but I just want to mention them.
Mhm.
There are 3 songs that I like. Thunderstruck, we've already talked about that. That's a bonus one. But the one that I really like is TNT by AC/DC. It's just a very, very cool song.
You and I
The
can
other,
hang out.
Yeah.
Wait, we
And
do. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
and the other song is a more recent song by Imagine Dragons called Believer. Great song, very powerful song. And then the third one is this really cool song called Wolf Totem by The Who, and not The Who with Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey and Keith Moon, but The Who, HU, and it is Mongolian like rock. It's a very interesting, and they have a version that's only in Mongolian, I guess, but it's just a very cool. But they also have a version that has English and Mongolian in it, and the English is sung by I don't know his name, but I think he's the lead singer of Papa Roach.
Okay.
So it's called Wolf Totem. It's by The Who, HUT,
Okay.
The Who. So those three songs are teasers, very good state songs to get you kind of pumped up. And there's something primal about that Mongolian chant song that is just,
Yeah, you can hardly tell that you like that at all. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Right.
You can see
Okay,
I'm already getting into state.
So yeah, so I've got an interesting challenge. If you like this, post your favorite songs down in the comments,
Yes.
and we'll start putting a list together for motivational songs and how to get yourself into the proper state, because music can also be, you can put yourself into a romantic mood, you can put yourself into a calm mood. The sky is the limit, and you're only limited by your imagination and the amount of playfulness that you're willing to display. So let's go ahead and stop here, James.
Okay.
And we'll talk to everybody next week. We're going to go official on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Tell all your friends, and I will talk to you later.
Take care.